Hello and welcome to the stream of fail. Yeah, put this down. Ah, Sashy's not ready. I made a thing happen. Alright. Hello. Oh, I forgot to do a thing. What am I doing? Your my life. Yes. Awesome. That's all done. Cool. I'm just gonna post my links. Boop. Boop. Hello, Tom, and welcome to the stream of fail. There we go. I am now getting to the place where I am almost set up. There. Okay. Boom. Yeah, so I decided that I was gonna do, sorry, I keep talking over there because that's where you guys are. But yeah, I decided to do a Draw My Life video, because I promised myself that when I did get a graphics tablet, I would do one of these. Hello, Neona, and welcome to the stream of fail. I'm sick. Aww. Oh no. Okay. There's more pen. So we have a pen. Get a doctor. So yeah. I guess if you have any questions about my life, you can ask me, and we'll see how this goes. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so I was born. This feels awkward now. Okay, so I was born on the 16th of the 6th, 1993, which makes me right now 24 years old. That's old. This is me crying about how old I am. So yeah, that's a good place to start. So I was born in Germany, and my mum. This is my mum. She has a ponytail. Yeah, this is brilliant. She has short legs. Hello, Molly, and welcome to the stream of fail. Where were you born overseas? Ah, this is going horrible. Okay, so here's my dad, who apparently has a ginormous head. My dad also has a ponytail. He has kind of a mullet. It's a curly mullet. My dad is where I get my kills from. And my really freaking dark eyes also, my eyes, they're really freaking dark eyes. They also come from my dad. Dark pits of hell. There you go. So yeah, I don't like this isn't gonna be a masterpiece. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, I looked a lot like my dad when I was a child. I was born via a C-section. This is me coming out of my mom's tummy. Yeah, that worked. Kev, link back to Discord, please. Yes. Oh yeah, I forgot. Like I retracted all of the links that I had. There you go. So angry at my computer. Aw. Alright, so, yeah, I got a lot of looks from my dad. I still look a lot like him. Aside from the fact that I have huge tracts of land. So, yeah. Then, what else? Oh yeah, I was mistaken for a boy. So I was in the news. Oh god, that one. So I was in the newspaper, like when I was born. Like this is a newspaper. This is what they look like. Okay. And then there's me being a baba, crazy baba. And yeah, they said that I was a boy. I still have that newspaper clipping. It's in my book of all my baby stuff, and I will forever keep it. So yeah, I was born by a C-section, and I was also mistaken for a guy when I was born. So like, you know, this like whole thing of people mistaking my gender. Like, I've had it since I was a baby. It's okay. It's okay. The doctors did it too. Oh no, not the doctors, but the whoever was talking to the reporters. So yeah, I was a boy apparently. Then oh, what else? Yeah, so we did live in Germany. This is gonna be a really shit map now. This is Germany. We live around here somewhere. Like, yeah. And then you have Belgium and France. France. And then you have the UK over here. The little island. That's totally what the UK looks like now. Hello out, Butterfly, and welcome to the stream of Phil. Wow, the doctors need to fix this stuff. Yup. I'm gonna No, I'm gonna draw slightly better UK because I kind of cut out Wales, and we need our little Wales. There we go. That's a better UK. Germany changed a lot since you were here. Yeah, dude. France. Excuse my terrible handwriting. UK. So, we lived here. Yeah. It's better if I do it. No, this is not better. Somewhere here is where I grew up. And when I was one, we moved all the way to Wales. It's like a 9-hour trip, 10 hours sometimes. Depends on whether you're taking the boat or the train. Because the train only takes about half an hour to cross the channel, whereas a boat takes about 2. So yeah, it like varies between 9 and like 12 hours or something to get to where like my family are in Germany. You live under a black cloud of death. Exactly. I'm going later this year. Ooh, cool. My brother went to Germany at school. Nice. So yeah, we drove all the way over there. I was a baby. I don't remember anything. Um, my like, my like first place that I can remember us being. I think we were the. That was the first house we were in. Maybe like, can I remember what it looks like? I know exactly where it is because like, it's one of those like deja vu moments. It like was like this. It was kind of like a semi-detached house. We had like a driveway. Oh no! Don't do that. No, no. Why? No, go back in there. Help! What is going on? I didn't know what that was. Okay. So like we had like yeah, windows and shit. There's another house next door. When I went to Fence by a ferry, it was about 30 minutes of my life. I have fewer boats. Oh, it is like literally back when I was doing it, it was like 2 hours. And then you had like a driveway. They also had a driveway. We had like this is a bush between our two houses. But my next door neighbor, she was she was my friend. She was my friend. The little we were little. This is me with my afro hair. We were like so close as friends. I don't know why I've got 3 legs. Don't question it, guys. And yeah, I'm an alien. It's fine. I can't actually remember what my friend looked like. Oh, or her name. I just remember she was awesome, and we spent a lot of time together. I'm just gonna make her have this. we spent a lot of time together as toddlers, um, and that because we were living right next door. But there was this fence in the garden, and this one time my mum was like, "You're grounded," because I did something naughty. I probably ate something that I shouldn't have been eating, because I did that a lot. And yeah, she was like, "You're grounded. You're not going over to see your friend." And I was like, oh, "Worst thing in the world." And I then was like, "Can I go play in the back garden at least?" And then she was like, "Sure, whatever." And I went out into the back garden, and there was like this. There was like this hole in the fence. Okay, we all know where this is going now. There's a hole in the fence that connects me to next door. It's not that big, so she can draw. No. Um, the hole is a lot smaller than that. The hole is just enough to fit someone's head in. Someone that might be about like yay high, with a killing mop of hair, that might be trying to climb through the hole. So naturally, I do the natural thing and get my head stuck in a hole. Um, and my friend was on the other side, and she was really worried, and I was like, oh, "You can't tell my mom though. Like, we need to get my head out of here, but we can't tell my mom. She's gonna kill me." No, she knows how to smile. She is frowning because she's worried. She's worried about her friend. Friend, why you stick your head in a hole? God damn it. So, eventually, it was quite a sharp hole as well. It was spiky. I remember it being spiky. Somehow I got my head through there and couldn't get it back. So, uh, eventually, I just ended up crying, and I bawled my eyes out. And my friend was there, and then she was like, "I'm gonna go get your mum," and I was there like, "No, don't get my mum!" Cry. And then she was like, "No, I'm gonna go get your mum. Your head is stuck. What are you doing, child? Why?" So she goes off, and then eventually I get basically cut out of the fence. And then I learned a valuable lesson that day. That lesson was, do not stick your head in a fence. Yeah, I probably did it again at some point. So yeah, that was one of my first memories there. I also had my brother. My brother was born, and um, and I had a bro, which was weird. It was, oh, like, he was so smiley as a child though. I was screaming. Oh, I would scream so much as a child. My brother though was really really quiet and really smiley all the time, and I was there like, what? I didn't even comprehend that what it was, because like, um, he was born when I was 3, so like I don't really remember holding him or anything. I remember like my mum would like sit me on a couch and be like, "Put your butt all the way against the back so you don't fall over when you hold the baba," and that was and that was kind of my experience. And yeah, I didn't really like kind of care that I had a bro. It was just like, oh, there's a person here. That's fine, cool. I'm gonna do my shit now. Um, and then I remember this one day we were sitting in assembly, and like these are little kids, pretend it's fine. We were all sitting on the floor, cross-legged. That was totally legs being crossed. Yes. Okay, like we're all sitting there. We're all wide-eyed, starry-eyed people, and we had a police officer come in. That's the police from town now, and he was a happy policeman. He was very friendly, and he was like, "I have a friend to show you today. Did you like to see my friend?" And like everyone was like really quiet. No, Skip, don't not. No, it's a beautiful policeman. I inhaled a piece of ice. Don't inhale ice. So yeah, he was like, I have a friend today. Would you like to see my friend? And then in comes this frickin' police car, like little tiny police car. It was the best day of my life back then. Like, it had eyes and everything. It was like the original frickin' cars, man. And it was so smiley. It was a happy police car. And I was so happy. And it like drove around. It was obviously a remote control, but it was like as big as I was back then. At which point I was up to people's knees. So like, yeah, I was so happy. It was just like, oh my god, I want to see this car every day. I never saw it again. Car. Then I had to move house, um, and move to a town which is like closer than I live, but like somewhere else. I don't want to give details of where I live. But my house was really, really big. So we moved to a big house, and I pulled a massive like pissy fit there is, because I had to leave my best friend behind, who was living next door, and I didn't want to leave, and I was very, very sad. So like this is basically our house. And it's huge. My dad still lives here. Like this is my actual childhood home. Um, so like yeah, Cassie. So we moved here, and I didn't have a bed for like a week. And my room isn't this one. This one used to be my parents' room. This one was my bro's room, and the one behind my parents was my room. Um, and we didn't have a bed for the first few days of moving in there, and I had a nightmare. Right, I'm gonna be real scared now. Okay, so I was sleeping on the floor because no bed. Like I had a mat, like I had like a sleeping mat, and like I had a nightmare that all of my teddies were coming to life, and they were gonna eat me. And I just had them there, like, just all, like, frickin' closing in. And just, I woke up then. It was the scariest frickin' shit, man. I was terrified to go to sleep then. I don't know what these teddies are, but they're teddies. Trust me. My toys were out to get me. Um, and forever on from then on, I never liked to be outside of the cover. I felt like the cover was my safety. It's my safety blanket from my teddies. I also developed this really weird thing that I would I would sleep with my teddies, like uh, yeah, right. So like I would have my teddies all around me while I slept, and like before I'd go to sleep, I would kiss every single one of them and tell them that they have a good night with a good dream. This is a Pegasus, by the way. I used to have a Pegasus, and it would go with me everywhere. It was so yeah, and I had this huge dog. I still got the huge dog. He's in the other room actually. Ah, what's happening? Not you. The one wants to go by you. Oh, oh my god, the dog looks creepy. It's not creepy. It's really cute and fluffy, and I used to like sleep on its back. But yeah, I used to go like methodically, and I would like tell all of my teddies. I had so many. I had like 20 teddies. And I was like, I don't want that dream again. So if I kiss my teddies goodnight and tell them goodnight, that was clearly what was wrong with going to sleep the first time. Therefore, if I do that now, they're not gonna try and eat me. And that was my thinking. And it worked. I didn't have a nightmare about my teddies eating me again. And why have I not told you I? And I slept soundly. Um, but I had other nightmares. But like, I never had a nightmare about my teddies again because I was completely and utterly convinced that I would never have it again, provided I said goodnight to my teddies. So, yeah. Then what else we got? Run away. Kid Sashy logic. Exactly. Kid Sashy logic is best logic. It works. See, didn't have a nightmare again. Therefore, you can't prove me wrong. So, then what? Then I went to school. And, like, I joined school. Like, I didn't go through reception. Like, I went through reception in the old house. And then I went through primary school in the new house, in my actual childhood home. And when I went there, like, people found out that I was from Germany, and they were like, "Oh my god!" And I was the coolest kid on the block. Like, everyone wanted to be my friend, and I was like, "I'm German, hi!" And they were like, "Oh my god!" This is their shocked face. I just loads of people that I didn't even know the names of just wanted to be my friend because I was German and could speak a bit of German. This is people, okay? Like, loads of people. Like, all the people. Fucking. So then I started this thing where, like, when I was a kid, and it still happens now, it's one of the first things I introduce myself with people, because it makes me different a lot of the time. So, like, back then it'd be like, "Oh, hi, I'm Kelly Joan, I'm from Germany." And then people would be like, "Oh my god, you're from Germany? Holy shit, man, that's amazing." And I was like, "Yeah, boy." And I was very, very happy. I was a happy Sashy. And, yeah, but I didn't know any of them. Like, we went, it was the weirdest thing. I had popularity. Everyone knew my name. I did not know anyone else's name, or I couldn't say that I had an actual friend, like, in primary school. Which is just like, everyone knew me, everyone praised me, like, constantly, but, like, I had no real friends. And then I got up to junior school. In my first year of junior school, there was this new student that came in that that I fell head over heels for. He was so cute. That's sincerity. Like, yes, notice me senpai. Uh, he was so cute, and he would, like. That's me. Everyone knows me, but I don't know them. Yeah, that always happens. That happens to me all the time. Don't stick water in your eye. Ooh. So yeah, he would. Oh, geez. No, help. So he would. These are the best drawings. They're like, they should be put up in an art gallery. So he would give me presents every day. Like, he'd give me pencils or pencil case, or I had stickers. Oh my god, stickers! And he'd give me prezzies every day, and I was like, yes, I was living the dream. And like, we'd like hang out at break time, and the older people would chase us around and be like, "Oh, kiss, 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 la la la," do all that stuff like children do. We never actually did kiss, just in case you're wondering. Whoops. um, No, I didn't have that. Uh, yeah. So I had we would get chased around by the older years, and the and we loved it, and we do that all the time. And then suddenly, um, he didn't come back. Uh, I would meet him every morning outside my school gates. So like his school gates and his children walking in, and I would meet him there every single day. And then suddenly he didn't come in, so I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's ill. That's fine. Um, would. And then uh, I ended up being a week, and my mom was like, oh, maybe he's just ill. And then it'd be 2 weeks, and then I was getting really worried, so I talked to my teacher about it, and she told me he got put up for adoption. Um, and yeah, didn't didn't come to school anymore because his mother couldn't look after him, put him up for adoption, and I was
A child or adult?
no a child. Yeah, yeah. I was so sad. His teary-eyed Sashy. Because I was just that was my first ever like love, and I was head like so smitten. Um, but yeah, and then he just disappeared, and I never saw him again, and I still have never seen him again. But the interesting thing that happened after was people started coming up to me and asking me for their stuff back. So they would see me using a pencil, and they'd be like, "That's my pencil. Uh, the other guy took it from me. I want my pencil back," and stuff like that. So slowly but surely, I ended up having no stuff, no prezzies that he stole from other people. Don't steal, but and yeah, that was kind of that. That was kind of that story. And I saw him again. I was really really sad. Then I felt really lonely for a while as a child loneliness. Until I met no, stop interrupting. No, and then I joined a gang and became an edgy little shit. Do you mind? Try to scream me. Nah, uh, I was not edgy in any sense, especially not back then. I was still bright sunshine and rainbows. Apart from being sad about never seeing my friend again, I met up with these other people that had what they called a gang. But it was a gang in the sense of we were a group of friends. It wasn't like, we were not like badasses. But get us 3 legs. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So yeah, there was like, I think there was about 5 of us in the gang, or like 6 or something. It was a gang of girls. We were all girls. You had to be a girl to be in this gang because the boys also had a gang, and like obviously you can't have intermingling of girls and boys. It just does not. Just nope. So like, this is just mush. So like, yeah, we had the girls had a gang, boys had a gang, and we had leaders of the gang, and those two leaders were like the best of friends. And they made up a song that they actually sang about how close friends they were. And I always looked at them and I was like, I want that as a friendship. I just I want to be that close with someone and that much of a friend of someone. And I looked up to them, and they were my senpais for a very long time. well, throughout all of my junior years, actually, they were my senpai. I was like, oh my god, I want what you have. It's so like special and amazing. Um, and they wrote songs together, and I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. And they sang it together, and they even had like a little stage area where they would do it at break time. And I was like, oh my god, these guys, they're the coolest. In girls and boys school don't usually mix in gangs. Yeah. We had we had a mix both girls and boys school, but yeah, we kind of segregated ourselves. Um, so yeah, we had our gang, and the boys had their gang, and we would play games with each other. No, we never did, because we were way too underage for that shit. Way too underage. I was about like 8, maybe. But yeah, I had being in the gang was just amazing. It was one of the best times in my school years because I felt like I belonged. And there was this one person in particular. We all had roles in our gangs. We had the two leaders. We had diplomat. We had um, what was it? I can't remember the other roles. But one of the most influential people, and I never saw her again. I saw her for like a year in school, and I never saw her again. But she absolutely freaking changed my life and doesn't even know it. Because you either get harassed or you're gay. Oh. But yeah, this girl, and she was called Grace, which just matched her completely because she was the freaking most lovely girl I'd ever met. And basically, I think she had curly hair. I can't remember. Don't go on my memory. There's just literally this one moment that like really stood out for me, and uh, in like the school, there was like a kind of cellar area before you go up into the actual school, and on the walls it had my name and and said would die in a year, like a year's time from now, from then even. And I got so scared. I got scared to the point where I was in tears, and I literally just like broke down right there and then, and legit thought that I was gonna die. And she kind of just explained that no, you're not gonna die. Don't be silly. And she was there, and then she was our warrior of our gang. And then she was like, you know what? I'm gonna take you on as my apprentice warrior. I felt so cool then. Like, then she was senpai. She was then senpai. I wanted to be like her. I wanted, cause you're a kid as well, and it's just one of those things where you just feel so down, and then someone is just there, and they just say what is obvious, and you can't think of that in that moment of despair. All you can think about is how sad things are, and yeah, and she was one of my lights uh, back then, and then she went to a different school, uh, and I never saw her again. Um, but yeah, she was the person where I decided I was gonna go out of my way to help people. So like I joined the peer support group. I joined every kind of thing where I could help student ambassadors, stuff like that. I joined all of those things because of her, because she helped me it like the situation was ridiculous and silly, but like because she did that, that just made me wanna just help other people. And I wanted to do that, and I did that, and I went out of my way to help everyone I could. Um, move the moving up to move up to from a small school, uh, junior school, to the big school where all the big people are. This is where all the big people are. You had to pair up. Um, only all of my friends in the gang were already paired up, so I was alone. And Grace, she went to another school, so I couldn't pair up with her. I was so lonely. Yeah, I was so sad about that. But the teachers were like, "No, we were gonna put you in a group. We put you in a group of 3 with these 2 girls I had not met before. I'd seen them in my class. They were best friends too. Um, I'd never really talked to them before then. I don't think. Uh, and yeah, I ended up going up with those 3. Those as those 2. Yes. Um, and then I started realizing that not everyone was nice. So like, no, not everyone was nice. Not everyone was a ball of sunshine like how I wanted to be. And I went up. I was so like, oh my god, everything's amazing. I love school, and I still love school. School is great. Um, my 2 friends that I went up with that were apparently best friends of each other, but they when one of them was gone, they would like bitch about the other to me. Like, oh my god, they taking the day off for this thing. That's so sad. Don't you think so? And they were just literally bitching to me about each other. Uh, and I was like, what? You're her best friend. I want a best friend. Like, I understand that I'm the third wheel here, but like, what? Like, why are you bitching? Why are you doing that? I didn't understand. I still have Killian. Always a Killy mob. Um, I didn't understand, and then yeah, that continued, and I just ended up just being quiet when they were bitching about each other. I was like, because I brought it up once, and then they were just like, "Oh, it's just normal. You've got to bitch about some people," and I was there like, just don't understand. So you know what? I'm gonna just drop it and leave it, and you do you. So like they would go on and on and on and on, and I'd just be there just zoning out. Yeah, they were not very nice people. But one of the times we like in Britain we have rugby, which have these rugby posts, and it has like a ball like this shape, kind of. And then we have our football, which is a goal like this. The round ball. Ball is round. So I was a goalie, and yeah, I was a good goalie. I was the best goalie. I was. I would like my dad. My dad's always been very supportive when I do stuff, and when I was doing football, like at the start when I was doing football, like I wasn't going for the ball. Like I was worried it was gonna hit me, and he was like, "No, just imagine that that ball is your teddy, and you freaking get it. You go get that teddy." I don't know why, but it motivated me. It's what got me. I ended up with a ball to the face because of that, but I saved the goal, So it was all good. No. I'm still way too young in this story. You can't. No. I disagree. So yeah, we got these kind of different poles, and different seasons will have the different goalposts up in the field. Or, no, skip, shut! Do you want to have a graphics cut in your face? Shush! Skip! Skip, I'm on YouTube and I'll get him serious fucking trouble.
Oh, come on. Please type the N-word on YouTube.
I don't fucking care! Sashy's drawing keeps getting better. Exactly.
And PewDiePie got in trouble because his sponsor threatened to withdraw his payment. It wasn't anything to do with YouTube.
Skip! Shut up! So yeah, we had these posts that
And the full Avenue Tube on
Skip!
YouTube.
Fuck me!
And they say that word
Shut
as
up!
well.
God, you're annoying sometimes. Piss me off.
Pissed on.
No! Shut up! Go away.
And you would know it, Jane.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we had these rugby posts would go down and they would be left there for a few weeks as they change over the posts. So I would I lost my thought. One break time I went down there and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna tightrope Skip's being a pest. Exactly. I'm gonna tightrope across this pole. This pole? Yes. My two friends at the time were just there, like, doing what they do. I don't know why the face is sideways. But they were doing what they do. My drawing just keeps getting better, you know. And then these bigger girls came, and they were from, like, we were in year 7, and they were from year 10, and they were all a bunch of rugby girls, so we're built like brick shit houses. This is how a rugby girl is built. Frickin' shoulders and arms for days. And they decided they were gonna pick a fight with me. I think a lot of you might have already heard this one. Bringing drinks, this is the story of my life. So before I kind of skipped over. I went to martial arts classes. I did karate. I did taekwondo, and a lot of other different martial arts when I was a kid. So I have to then give warnings to people, and they came over. So they came over and were like, get off our plate. This is where we are. This is our place. And I was there like, no. This is not a no face. I'm gonna make it a better no face. Stop. Yeah. So I was like, no. I'm not moving. I'm here. Like, this playground is for everyone. Therefore, I can be here if I want. And then they decided that to get rid of this child, they were going to push me off the posts. And they pushed me off the first time, and I fell over. And they laughed. And that was all well and good. And then I got up and went back on the post. And I was like, yeah, okay. No, not sad face. I was smiley face because I knew how to defend myself. So was therefore gonna be like, you wanna fucking go, bro? I called her a cool child. Nice. So yeah, I just walked back on the posts and started doing it again. So they decided that they were gonna push me off some more. This is them pushing me off. They're a lot bigger than me. This is not an accurate drawing. So I went off, And I turned to them and I was like, "You do that again, I'm gonna kick your ass." And went back on the pole. Didn't say anymore. Didn't aggravate them anymore. It was just like, I want a tightrope. That's what I'm gonna do, bitch. And by this point, my two friends they they buggered off. They were no longer there. They walked up. There was like this hill next to the field. They'd walked up it and went at a safe distance away. As I continued to do my thing, and I'm like, you know what? No, I don't want to be pushed around by someone that's 4 years older than me and built like a brick shit house. I don't have to take this shit. Nope. And I went back on the pole, type roping across it again. As they pushed me off again, suddenly it's become a game. Which is great for me, because I then turned around and was just like, do that again? And I'm gonna kick your ass. And they do it again, and then I'm like, this is your last warning. You do that again, and don't leave me alone, I'm gonna kick your ass. And they did it again, and then I punched them in the face. Just like, kapow. Yep. Straight up, just like, boom, in the face. And then I had all 5 of them, like, freaking fighting me, trying to fight me at once, which is, I don't know if you've ever tried to be in a fight with a group of people around you. It kind of doesn't work. You don't really have enough space around you for fights to go on. Doesn't. Oh, I'm glad it's still going. Hello, you, and welcome to the stream of Fail. Yeah, we've just reached my comprehensive school level. Go, baby Sashy. I wasn't a baby at this point. I was 11, alright? I was freaking hardcore. Freaking hardcore 11-year-old just beating the shit out of people that were like 15. Actually, no, maybe I was 12. Maybe I was 16. I don't know. Something along those lines. And I was 11 to 12. We'll put that here. 11 to 12. When I punched this girl in the face. And, damn, yeah, boy. I had no fear. I was always told, my dad sat me down when I went to school, because I think he just sat me down randomly, I think it was, and he was like, if you ever get into a fight, don't be the first to hit, unless you've given them enough warning. So yeah. You weren't even a kid, you're a preteen. Exactly. Yes. I sneezed on my cat. Aw, kitty! So yeah, I had this thing where I felt pretty much invincible. And I had these 5 girls freaking all surrounding me, pulling my hair, trying to punch me, being basically a wimp. I was surprised. For rugby girls, like, they couldn't hit for shit. And I expected better. It ended up with one of the girls on the floor and me over the top of her, just like hitting her shoulder because I didn't want to punch her face anymore. I didn't need, like, I was afraid that it might become more pretty. Like, no one wants that. So I just like punching her in the shoulder and giving her that by this point that I had pinned her down, and I looked up for like a brief moment to see where my friends are. See if they've maybe gone to get a teacher, or to, whoop, that's a face, or to do something, or even cheer me on, or, well, I don't know. Something. I was expecting something. And they were stood on top of the banking and laughing, having the time of their life, as I try and fight off 5 girls 4 years older than me. And from that day on, I realized they weren't my friends. And I was like, you know what? No, I don't. I was still their friend, I still hung out with them because I had no one else to hang out with. But I was like, no, you don't do that. I don't trust you anymore. So yeah, there was that. Someone else ended up getting a teacher, and the teacher ended up pulling me off. And the best thing about this was the girl that I was punching on the ground. She tried to get me into trouble. Them girls are gonna get shook. I wish. They tried to get me into trouble. So like the morning after, the head teacher, oh, he, like I was scared of her at this point. I was like, holy shit, that is someone with some power right there. And Bitchy bitch face was here. And I got pulled out of my homeroom class. And the teacher was just like, oh, would you like to explain what happened yesterday? And I was like, yes I would actually. And like instantly like fire freaking lit up inside me as I tell her literally everything that happened. And she just kind of absorbs that all in. And then turns to the bitch girl. And is just like, are you gonna apologize? And she was like, what? I don't have to apologize to her. She was punching me. And I was like, hun, if I was punching you for real, you'd be in hospital right now. And, yeah. Then the teacher forced her to apologize to me and gave her detention. And actually suspended her for like 2 days. It was so fucking fun. Like, to watch that kind of cascade in front of me, I was like, lol, teaches you, bitch. Hi.
Oh, touch them.
Oh, woman, put me down. Badass baby Sash. Yeah, boy. Oh, you badass as shit. Then, what else we have? Oh yeah, then this story doesn't end, by the way. This story continues. There's a sequel to this story. So it comes close to Christmas time. And I decided I was going to make a gigantic snowball. Like, literally, it was huge. This is the best. I was so happy with my snowball. I made a huge snowball, it was great. And I was gonna dump it on one of the boys' heads. Particularly the one I had a crush on back then.
Oh yeah, that's how you show people you like
This
them.
is how you show affection! You dump a snowball on their head. Unfortunately, I don't get that far because as I'm walking there, bitch face decides she wants round 2 and knocks the snowball out of my hand. Just snowball on the floor. Yep. And me not happy. Frickin' unleash the beast. As I decide that's an attack on me, and I then start fighting with her, and we end up with a fight circle, like those really, 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 really typical fight circles, where everyone's freaking chanting, and everyone, like literally everyone is so close to each other, and they just literally make a circle around us, and it's just me and this one girl, just freaking hitting it off. And I end up, at one point, she grabs me by the hair and literally swings me around, my feet off the ground, and then just throws me to the side. And then I get up to go still keep fighting. I was a fighting child. And the teachers noticed the fight circle and broke us up, and I was like, fucking damn it, man. I had my chance. Blew it. She got in trouble for that again. Lol. She got suspended from school. Forever. It was just like Sash can't get in trouble, apparently. Oh. And yeah, that was pretty much that. Then we had, what was that? Oh, I had, no, that wasn't done yet. Yeah, so I decided, like, about a year into high school, that my two friends were not my friends. They were assholes, quite frankly, and they kept bitching about each other when they weren't there, which made complete and utter, like, no sense whatsoever. Like, I was like, what? No. So, I decided to break it off. I was like, I'm not your friend. And, like, kind of the turning point for me for that was, I used to do singing lessons and do musical theatre. So, I would, I had grades and everything. And one of the, Sashy the Golden Child, one of the, um, one of the grades that I did was equal to GCSE level when I was in year 8. So, like, GCSE level is year 10 and 11. In year 8, I was doing GCSE level musical theatre. And I just had my results back. And I had a distinction. And I was so happy. Like, literally, I was so excited, so ecstatic. And I turned around and told them, I was like, oh, I got my singing results back from the musical theatre grade, and I got a distinction. Which just by the way, if people didn't know what the scoring system was here, so you've got to pass, you got to pass, which is like what was it? I think a pass was like 60% for this, and then you had a merit, which was like 80% or higher, and then you had distinction, and this was 90% or higher. Frickin' score wise, yes, boy. I mean, we started GCSEs early. Oh no. Oh no, maybe it was year 9 and 10. I can't remember. I actually can't remember. No, because year 12 and 13 is sixth form. I think? I don't know. But yeah, so distinction is the highest grade that you can get. And just in case people were wondering, I got 96%. Yeah, I did well on that exam. And it's like a performance exam, so you do 3 songs, and you do dancing in it, you do posturing, you do showing your range, your ability to sing quietly, to sing loudly, all of that sort of stuff. It's quite very, very technical. But yeah, I got 96% in it. I was freaking chuffed. I went into school, and I was so excited, and I told them, and I was like, oh, I got my results back, and our school goes to year 11, fuck you on about. Oh, my school also had a sixth form, which was year 12 and year 13. Some schools don't have it, but my school did. It's basically college level, A levels things, yes. So yeah, I went in and I was all excited, and then without even a moment's hesitation, not a single moment's hesitation, did they turn around and go, "Oh, what is that? The lowest mark you can get?" Like completely deadpan, serious face, and my heart absolutely gets destroyed at that point. And like, I just was like, well, I'm not your friend anymore then. And I lost a lot of confidence then. I lost so much confidence um, because of that. And I didn't want to sing in front of anyone again. Just like, nope, never gonna do it. Uh, which is kind of silly. Don't let other people tell you what you can and can't do. You'll regret it later. Trust me. Uh, so yeah, there was that. And then I was alone for about half a year. I didn't have any friends at all. I'd sit alone in class. Um, so like, and everyone else would be with friends, and there was just me. There was just people here. For about half a year until my art teacher noticed that I wasn't sitting with my friendship group anymore, and actually questioned me about it. So I told her what happened, and she took sympathy in me, and she was like, "Do you know what? There's a girl in the other class that is also on her own." And I was like, "Someone's on her own? I must be friends." I still had this like inner grace inside me, wanting to make people's life better. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be this girl's friend. And she was in some of my classes, and we did cooking together. And we did like used to be on opposite sides of the classroom until the cooking teacher were like, "No, you need to pair up." And I was like, "Oh my god, this is the perfect opportunity. We're gonna be the best of friends." So like, I go over to her and I'm just like, "Hi, I'm Sashy. Uh, can we be friends?" And she's like, "No." My heart broke. Cry. And then I was like, I got more information from the art teacher. I found out that she drew dragons.
Yep.
Oh, yay. Thank you. I found out she drew dragons, and I drew fairies at the time. And I was like, oh my god, yes. Yes, boy. Sorry, I'm just gonna. I'm hungry. Bad child. But, yeah, so I had that. And I found out she liked horses. And at that point, I had a horse. I had a horse. His name was Sasha. He was the most beautiful, beautiful pony. And I was like, hey, I have a horse. Would you like to come see him? And she thought that I was just being a bully. Because everyone else that had gone to talk to her was just wanting to pick on her for drawing dragons. And I was there like, no, mate, I think that's freaking awesome. Do you like to see my fairy drawings? And it took about a year, or at least half a year, for my friend to realize that I was genuinely trying to be her friend and not trying to pick on her. So, yeah. But, and we are best of friends still now. Forever and always. So, I then found her, and then I found out that there were a lot of people actually alone in the school. And everyone should have a friend. And everyone should have me as a friend. Because I could protect them from danger and people being mean. So I started my own gang, if you like, of misfits. And hello, Hooper, and welcome to the stream of Fail. I started my own gang of misfits, and it was great. Like we were all into anime. We were all into role playing, and everything was awesome, and all of this stuff. It was, I don't know why the people look like Melvin, but sure, we'll go with it. And one of the times that when I was in the older years, we had a group of kids that decided to throw a ball at us constantly. So we were all just like sitting, we were having lunch, and he decides to start throwing balls at us. No, shut up.
You like balls?
No. Shush you. So yeah, and then the other girls start to get really worried that they're gonna get hit with a ball in the face, and it was a tennis ball as well, so it's a pretty solid ball to get in the face. And I was like, no, no, we do not move. We stay put. This is where we were here first. This is where we stand. Like, so I when they threw the ball again, I picked it up and I walked off with it. And I walked over to the teacher, and I had freaking all of these kids trying to freaking stop me. It was great because they were all tiny, and I was in the highest year I could be, and I was taking none of this bullshit, man. Just freaking walking my way downtown. As have like kids like, no, it's my ball, no, and I was like, you should have thought of that before you started throwing it at us. And then like freaking Sash means business. So yes. So like I had all these little kids like trying to hold me back. And but I'm like a brick shit house by this point, and I'm just like, no, child, you do not throw balls at my friends, and think you can just keep it. So I give it to the teacher, and literally I go back to my group as they manage to get the ball off the teacher and start throwing it at us again, so that they don't learn their lesson. So then I take the ball again, and the same thing happens. Only this time I go up to the teacher and say, if you give it back again, I'm reporting this to the headmaster and your negligence of being a teacher. Teacher got real scared. Teacher never spoke to me again. Or gave the ball back, which was thankful, because we didn't have to have it thrown at us again. So, yeah, it was that. Fun times, fun times. But yeah, so I then kind of made myself the leader and the warrior of our group. I was to protect people. Always protect the people. And yeah, that was fun. That was that was again one of the best times of my life is when I had my little group of people, and like it would be the case of like people would try to bully us, and then I'd get up and they're like, oh shit, that's Sashy. We've heard stories about Sashy. As I'm there like, come on at me, bitch. No, didn't think so. Cool. That was great. I had a legacy. It's fantastic. So then, here we go. Then I was in a play actually in school, and I played Mrs. Bedford, which is in Oliver, and I got a solo in that, singing Oliver a lullaby. No, singing Oliver a lullaby as he goes to sleep. Because Mrs. Bedford is the maid in the rich people's house. Only you don't get to see her in the film that much. So, but yeah, she gets her own solo in the musical, and I had so many people come up to me after, be like, "Oh my god, this is the first time that like I went back to singing, like in front of people." And I nearly didn't do it because I was so nervous and stuff. So she fights, she protects. Most of all, she scares the fuck out of teachers. Yeah, boy. So like, yeah. And I had so many people coming up to me after the show going, "Oh my god, your song brought me to tears." And Mrs. Bedford's song is, you know the song "Where Is Love" that Oliver sings? It's that, but a rice version. There's like a shorter version. It's like 3 lines long, but like people were so moved by it. They just came up to me after and they were like, "Oh my god, I was in tears." Even my art teacher came up to me and so it was just like, "I'm in tears, cry." So yeah, there's that. Oh, speaking of my art teacher though, my I I have this thing. I still have it now. So my my coloring pencil case has to be in rainbow. Okay? There's no not rainbow. It has to be in order. And I can't not have it in order. So my teacher found this out and decided that the best thing to do was to mix up these colors. And he would literally, he'd what? Oh, I can't see it. Oh, no. He'd literally like just randomly pick one and just take it out, and then he'd he'd pick another one, not this one. Ah, no, stop. We'll pick this one, and he'll move them around, and it would drive me up the wall. Like, just no, do not move my colors. And I'd watch him, and he'd just do it, and he'd grin at me, and I'm there, and he knows how much it pisses me off, and I'll be there just like, I'm gonna fight you. Like, I'd literally be there growling. Like, I'm gonna fight you or you don't not do that. Stop. Please. And like, yeah. And that was his thing. He enjoyed doing that every frickin' lesson. There was no getting away from having my colors. And like anytime my colors were out, I would try and hide the fact that I had my colors out because I knew that he was gonna swap them around. And it just no. Do not touch Sashy's colors and move them. It just looks nice. Okay, we all went about the lesson. So yeah, my art teacher had so much fun with that. Cry. So yeah, then after then, I went to college and I did animal management. Actually, no, I did A levels and I failed A levels. I failed A levels first. A levels, nope. I mainly because I had a lot of stress on me at that point. My mum got found out to have a brain tumor and had to have it removed, and there was a lot of, well, with any type of cancers and tumors, there was a lot of things that could have gone wrong with it. Luckily, it's not gone wrong. She's still around today, and it is all clear in that. But back then, I was very, very worried about it. So yeah, and also my parents broke up, and they got divorced. So there was also that. So, and there was a moving into another house, and everything was stressful. So like A levels, just no. We'll just forget that they happened. They didn't exist. The only thing good about A levels was I had my gang, had my game. That was it. It was great. I just kind of ignore the school side of that. Then I went to college and made some more friends. And how do I do this? Yeah. So I made some more friends. I don't have such short curly hair anymore. It's kind of long, and I actually wear a bandana all the time when I was in college. Bandana time. Uh, and college was so easy because I did A level, and the thing was I knew the stuff. I just couldn't do it in an exam setting. So, um, college for me had no exams. There was not a single exam in there, and it was all coursework based. So from college, I got D star. The D stands for distinction. D. So distinction star, distinction star, distinction. And that was all fantastic. And I was like, I only didn't get another star in the end because this one teacher wouldn't let me hand in my work early. Literally, I had my work ready. I was like, let me give it to you. And he was like, no, everyone's got to give it at the same time. And I was like, but I'm going to forget, cry, and guess what? I forgot. So, yeah. I could have had it. And it was right. The stuff I wrote was right. I had 100%. But he wouldn't let me have the mark. Because I handed it in late. Despite the fact that I tried to hand it in early. I was like, you little bitch. Just cry. No, you can't. He wasn't allowed. Literally wasn't allowed. I was so pissed off. And yeah, so there was that. Then I got into uni. I kind of went really in detail about the young me, and then skipped over old me. Because well, we haven't. Oh no, that was in college, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Shit,
Yeah,
son.
yeah,
All right,
yeah,
hey.
Right, just forget about this person
Oh
over here,
no.
the one that made you dinner.
Oh no, it's true. I'm really hungry actually. Whoops. I love you. I love you. No cry. So, I had a boyfriend when I finished school. Between school and college, first year of college, or first half a year of college, let's say, I had a boyfriend who turned out to be an asshole for several different reasons.
That wasn't me, by the way.
It wasn't him. But through my boyfriend at the time, I met up with this dude.
I was just naughty.
And you you're gonna love the picture I got of you. It's beautiful.
This one?
No, the one I'm drawing.
Oh my god.
I think it's accurate. This is an accurate drawing. So, me and my friends will meet up. We meet up still every Thursday to go roleplay. And this guy just randomly turned up and was in the.
I was running a game. And he randomly
Randomly turned up. I didn't notice he existed, basically. And there was no other games that could fit me in that I was interested in. And this guy was running a game of space. Where back then I had a very, very narrow-minded opinion of space and sci-fi. And I was like, it's... No, actually. Height of Culture was Legend of Five Rings. Thank you fucking very much. Yes. Yes, boy. I enjoyed it. I'd still enjoy it if I remember. It's a good game. So, yeah, so Skip was running a sci-fi game. I wasn't interested in it. Nah. I didn't want to play it, but my partner was like, you need it. My partner at the time was just like, but you wouldn't want to not come to Roleplay Club, would you? And I was like, no, I want to see everyone, but I don't want to play this shitty sci-fi game. Can we play anything else? And everyone was like, no, we're going to play sci-fi. So I decided I was going to be evil. And I was going to make a character that's going to break the game. I tried so hard.
You tried.
Because my opinion of science and science fiction at the time was that it was all combat. And everyone had to have a gun, and I was really not interested in any of that. I wanted diplomacy. I wanted adventure, and all of that sort of shit. So I really didn't think sci-fi was for me. So I made it completely and utterly diplomatic character that might have happened to have been a prostitute. No fight skill, no weapon skill, absolutely useless in combat. Full stop. Could not do combat at all. And I thought that I might break his game because I wouldn't be able to do anything because I thought that all sci-fi games were combat. Turns out that was not true. I actually had my own plot.
Turns out I'm a fucking good GM.
Yes.
And I can work with what I got.
Skip, good GM. He gets tick of approval for being a games master. So, yeah, I hated him. Did not like. I hated him for the stupidest reasons. So, the first time I met him, accidental prostitute. Yes, exactly.
No, I think you knew what you were doing.
Oh no, I knew exactly what I was doing with Roderick. So yeah, I absolutely hated him. Nope.
Not my fault.
It was.
None of it was my fault.
Yeah, that's true.
I did not make your boyfriend smoke.
Yeah. So, what had happened? We all sat down, and at one point, Skip was just like, "I'm going for a fag. Do you want one?" To my partner at the time, and my partner turned around and said, "Yes." Now at this point, I didn't know he smoked.
I didn't know he didn't smoke.
Like, mind blown. And he'd always be like, my partner I found out is a compulsive liar, and like he's one of those people that's just like, oh, I hate this type of habit. It's so disgusting. Blah blah blah, blah, and then does it. Like he was like, I hate smoking. It's so disgusting. It just stinks and everything. Blah 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 blah. And then turned out he was smoking. He was a smoker, and like I was like, oh, betrayed. It also turns out he didn't like cheating, but was a cheater, so there was that as well. But initially, yeah, Skip was being innocent and asking if my partner would like a fag because he knew that he smoked, and I didn't. And I spent that entire evening glaring whole black holes into Skip's head, and I hated him. No, just no. I'm sorry. I had a serious irrational hate. Yeah, like.
And then you played my game and realized I wasn't a jerk.
Then I played your game and realized you wasn't a complete and utter asshole.
And then you started flirting with me.
No, that's not how this went.
Oh, isn't it?
No,
Isn't it?
no.
Isn't it?
I had a character who was a prostitute hypocrite. Yeah, my ex is a hypocrite. I had a character. Oh, wait. Oh no, there you go. Oh no, why you not let me? Oh, no, fine. So I had a character who was a prostitute. He was a happy little prostitute, and in his backstory, there was this one customer that's his main customer. And in the game, this guy starts to talk to my character and it's like, hey, wanna hook up? Wanna do what we usually do? Yeah, boy. And my character's like, yeah, cool. And then after, like, they did their thing, this character, this non-player character, which is played by Skirp. And
You were flirting.
Nope. This character starts sending love notes to my character and flirting through notes with my character. As my character, being a prostitute, obviously he's gonna flirt back. He's got the charm. And I felt so guilty. Is it Sashy? Is Sashy the prostitute? No, the prostitute was actually called Roderick. Yeah, Roderick, I think. Not Sashy or related to Sashy in any way whatsoever. But yeah, I felt so guilty, despite the fact I was still going out with my ex partner at the time, and despite the fact that it was just a roleplay game, I felt so guilty for flirting in character, and it was just through notes and stuff. And yeah, and I was just like, oh, it's just a cat. It's nothing. It's nothing. So I didn't think anything of it. Then my one time when I was going to roleplay club. What? Oh, the one you're on. Yeah. Are you gonna post pictures of Roderick? You still have his character sheet? Roderick is cute. I might draw him again because he's cute. He's a cute character. He's good. Yeah, boy.
I've got your facts. I don't have any characters, but I've got the drawings and figures in,
Oh no, we're not gonna show that.
and the backstory.
Here's Roderick. He's so cute.
Yeah, the picture has got less clothes on.
Yeah, he's got a lot less clothes on in the pictures I drew of him because he's a prostitute. So, yeah. Yeah. Yes. 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 So yeah, we had this. We were flirting, and then one day when I was going to club, Roderick is my prostitute. Let's call it. Cute, exactly. He's adorable. He's an awesome little cinnamon roll. And so yeah, one time when I was going to club, whoa, don't do that. I was going to club, and my real tall friend, was just like, "Oh, I'm really sorry to hear about uh, you and your boyfriend." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Oh, you broke up." And I was like, "What?" What? And what had happened is they'd gone, like they'd met up on the weekend, and my boyfriend at the time was kissing and making out with this other guy. Uh, and my friend asked him about it and was like, "Hey, aren't you with Sashy?" And he was like, "Oh no, we broke up." That's nice of you to notify me of that. Yeah. I was so distraught. Very sad. Sad Sashi. Many tears. Um and then my friend was also sad. Or well, actually he got angry. Everyone got really angry at my partner for that.
For some reason.
For some reason. But it made me feel really, really good. Like, cause people were there. They were there for me. Um, and yeah, all of that. And then I go to one of these meetups later. Let's fast forward, and I'm like sitting here drinking my drink because I was just noping at life. This is me noping at life. You like me noping at life? Nope. I am noping at life right here. And with literally within arm reach, my ex-boyfriend was making out with his current boyfriend. Hands everywhere.
Like this.
Like, no. Help! Like, so I just drink more drink, and the lovely drink was supplied by the lovely skirt who continuously bought me alcohol.
I was trying to get her drunk.
As
It
much
works,
as I want.
kids. It works.
Yeah, so Skip then was trying to be helpful and help me forget about Matt, and was like engaging me in conversation, and I then realized he was not a bad guy. He was actually pretty nice. Like, yeah.
The more alcohol you give them, the nicer you are.
No. So, I got over that.
You
And
missed a bit out of the story, though.
no.
You missed several bits out of the story.
No, I got over my ex. And me and Skip,
You missed a couple of bits out of the story.
no, me and Skip decided that we were going to be friends with benefits. Which is when you are friends, but you sin. And I decided I didn't care. I decided that I was never going to have a boyfriend. No one wanted me as a girlfriend. Life was like I was never gonna find love. I completely like sold myself to that. So I was like, sure, I'll be a friend with benefit, just no serious stuff ever.
And who was the one that wanted to start the serious stuff?
No, it was you.
No, you.
No, it was you.
No, I was quite happy being with those.
No. No.
You
No,
were the one
because
that
you
kept
know what?
bringing it up.
No, because that one time with Thingy and you then was like, no. Yeah. Hello, Tom, welcome to the stream of fail. I hit friends with benefits. Nope, I'm out. Oh. No, that's how me and Skip started. No, when was it? Your lesbian friend came over, and then there was that whole business, with Dante. Yeah. And you said to me that night that you realized that you actually wanted to be with me. Well,
I was protecting you from a predator. I'd do that to anyone.
I know, but you said you wanted to be with me. And then I asked as if, like, do you want to be boyfriend and girlfriend? And then you said yes. Yeah, boy, come fucking at me. I remember. Yeah, well. And this was on the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. This is our anniversary date because it's the first time we actually got together. But before that, we met up a few times, did friends with benefit things, and kind of just had it as a non-serious relationship. By this point, I'm like in college, and I'm like 19, 20, and I was hiding the fact that I was going out with Skip, because me and Skip have a 14-year age gap between us, which you wouldn't actually, like, know from looking at us, because Skip looks really young and acts like a child, so, there's that. But yeah, so, I was trying to hide the fact that we were meeting up as friends with benefits, from my mum, until Skip gave me a hickey, and my mum found out. And she went absolutely ballistic at me. And Gerard. So yeah. She absolutely screamed, Sashy, calm down. No, never calm down. She went absolutely ballistic at me. And was all like, I'm gonna call cops on him, and I was like, why? And he was like, 'cause he's a pedophile, and I was like, Mum, I am 20 years old. Not a child. Was I 20 then? No, I was 18. Sorry, 18. Or was I 19? 18 to 19. I was like, Mum, I am an adult now. No, he's not a freaking pedophile. God fucking damn it. And then she was like breaking down how many it would take to get fresh Sashy drunk. All of it. Like an entire liquor store. And then he'd still be sober. So she was all yelly and stuff and was like, I'm gonna call the cops on him. And I was like, no, because I'm of legal age. Well, and then she like broke down and was like, you'll always be my little girl. And we made up and became friends again. Like, she still thought of me as a child, and I was like, no, I am an adult now. I can do adult things. All the adulting. Yes. then Then I promised her that we were just friends with benefits. This was before we actually became serious. I promised that we were friends with benefits, and it was nothing, and it was going to turn into nothing, and eventually I'd find someone that liked me for me, and we'd live happily ever after, and all of that jazz, and stuff. And 6 years later, me and Skip are planning to get married, so whoops. Then, what else have we got? Yeah, we started going out with each other then, and yeah, like, we've been going out with each other for ages now. Well, yes. Like 6 years. 6 years? No, coming up to 6. No. Coming up to 6.
You definitely missed out the bit where you were lost in Cardiff.
Oh, yeah. I went over, like, this, I think it was the second time. The second time I was planning to come over, like, I was in Cardiff, and, I met up with my friends. We were at a cosplay meetup, and after, and I planned to go back to Skips, and we were gonna do friends with benefits stuffs, and then he texts me in the day and says, "Oh, I'm really sorry, but I'm ill, so probably best not for you to come over." And I was like, "Oh, shit! Like, my mum's not expecting me home. I can't stay over one of my friend's house." And I kind of thought that Skip might have someone else that he was sleeping with on that night and was making an excuse not to see me, or that I wasn't good like the first time we met up, so was making an excuse not to see me. So I pretended to get lost. And like rang him up when I was like, what, like a minute,
Just over the road.
like pretty much just over the road. I was like,
That's not suspicious at all.
I thought I was so smart.
Oh my word.
I legit thought that I was smart. So I show you.
And,
So
and you turn up, and I was ill and on my own.
so here's like loads of houses, and oh, I did this one. Hang on, I need to make it smaller. So here are a load of houses. They do house things, and then there's a bridge. And I was on the bridge, pretty much, going, I am by this bridge, and there's a river underneath it, and I'm lost. Your mum's wedding speech will be, you promised me. Yep. So yeah, I thought I was so smart. And I put on my best pathetic voice.
And she turns up, and I'm on my own and
And then
ill.
I turn up, and he's like literally like snot down the face. That whole like proper ill. I still stayed over though.
Well, I'm still confused. What would you have done if you turned up and I was with someone else?
I would have just left. I'm like, I didn't. It's like we were friends with benefits at that time, but I thought that I was really shit, so like, I would have just left. I probably would have cried about it. What are you snickering for? Don't snicker at my potential sadness.
Have you done the Batman story?
Yeah, we've done that. Yeah. We've been there. We've done that. What he did. Oh, sorry, I'm getting tired. I'm also really hungry. Food is right here, but I want to finish it. It's kind of why I'm kind of rushing through the end of it. And if you want me to go more in detail about things, I guess you could ask me questions, and if I get enough questions, I guess I could make another Dormy video. So yeah, so then we stayed over. That was pretty much it. Skip was telling the truth. I was surprised. Like, after my last boyfriend, which is, like, hypocritical, lying constantly all the time, I was genuinely surprised that someone would actually tell me the truth. But yeah, he did. And now we're 5.5 years down the line, and planning on getting wedding. Planning on getting married. Also planning on traveling Europe. That'll be cool. Yes. So, what happened after that? Oh yeah, then I did college. And I finished college. And me and Skip moved into a house with like 7 people in the house. It was crowded. It was not ideal conditions.
But it was cheap.
It was cheap.
God,
It was so cheap. But like, holy shit, my mental state was not in a good way. Like, I'd come home and there'd be piles of dishes, and I'd want to cook something, but can't because it's dirty. And I'm there like, for fuck's sake, guys, can you just wash up after? No? So, we eventually got our own place then. This is a little flat that we're in now, which is cool. Then I went to uni. Well, I went to uni before we came to this flat. Uni was so big and shiny. And I got lost on my first day. This is totally what uni looks like. A giant frickin' house. Yep. So I got lost on my first day and was waiting outside one of the halls that I thought I was meant to be in. But there was no one there. There was no one there. Apart from literally like a minute later than me, this other girl turns up and is just like, we're both there, kind of awkward, wondering where the hell everyone else is. And she starts the conversation and is like, hi. And I'm like, hi. And she was like, this is where we're meant to be, right? And I was like, yeah, it's on my sheet. So I checked my little sheet that I had. I was like, yep, it's on here. You should do a Draw My Life Sashy Tiger Honey Badger. Oh, I could totally do that. Yes. And then like the conversation kind of died. Kind of had that really awkward ... moment. As I then decided I was gonna initiate conversation. Holy shit. And I asked, hey, did you go to Freshers Fair? Which Freshers Fair is like the week, one of the weeks before uni actually starts, and you get like a load of freebies. There's a load of deals that go on and stuff, and you can sign up to different societies. And she was like, yeah, I went to Freshers, and I was like, cool. And we had this ... moment again. And then I was like, did you sign up for any societies? And she was like, yeah, I signed up for this and that. And I was like, cool. I signed up for like a radio show and the Anime Society. And she was like, the Anime Society? And I was like, oh. And then our friendship didn't. And we talked about anime for like the entire time. No. Then we thought maybe we should go find where we're actually meant to be, and found out that everyone else got a memo and we did not. I don't know why, but we did not get a memo. But we found where the other people were, and yeah, we became friends. Turns out we were on different courses. So she was doing biology, and I was doing international wildlife biology. Which the only difference was we had mostly the same classes, but I had trips to Africa and Borneo, and she did not. And that was pretty much it. Oh, and I did tropical ecology. Yeah, we did pretty much the same classes, which was so lucky because I was an outcast to the rest of my class. My class, because of you had to pay for um what was it? You had to pay for the trips yourself, so the school wouldn't help with that, and it had to be paid up front. So a lot of my classmates came from very, very rich families. And I never actually believed in stereotypes until I had nearly the entirety of my class rah-rahs being so stereotypical. It was insulting. Holy shit. One of them, we went to South Africa for 5 weeks, and we all had to book our own plane tickets and stuff like that. While we were out there, this one kid is crying his eyes out. We're nearly going home, and this one guy is crying his eyes out, and I go up to him, I'm not that social with my class, and I was very much the outcast, but he was crying, so I went up to him and was like, "What's wrong?" And he literally turns to me and is like, "My mum didn't book me first class tickets on the way home. I have to go in economy." And I was just like, you what? He is literally bawling his eyes out as if someone told him his puppy had died. He was so upset. No fucking joke. And I was there how, what? I was telling him how nice economy was, and I was just really happy to get to be on a plane and get to be in South Africa and stuff, and the plane journey wasn't going to be that long if you looked at it realistically. I'm that's no, I couldn't comfort this guy. He was just not having any of it. Also, one of the guys before we went out there, one of the girls even, was like, "Oh, my dad is buying me an iPad to go to South Africa with," and I was like, "Whoa, you don't want to take that with you?" And she was like, "Why?" And I was like, "We're going to South Africa into the bush, and no, and it's gonna get broken." And she was like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. My dad will get me a new one anyway." These were the kinds of people that I had to deal with 3 years. Luckily, I had friends in other courses, because I was the odd one out here. Just wow. Just my class. I could do an entire video on just the stories from my class. Look at that bad. But anyway, I want to eat my food at some point. I gotta put it in the microwave already because it's cold. Yes. So, yeah, there was that. My class was awful. I managed to pass uni though, and I made 2 friends in uni who's Coffee and Chaba, and they're both taller than me, and this makes me sad. Correct. And they both they make fun of my height. Correct. Well, everyone makes fun of my height, but you know. But they were my freaking saviors, man. I don't know what I would have been a very lonely person in uni if I didn't have them. Cause like literally, like none of my class. I sat on one side of the like our classroom looked like this. Bop, then bop, then bop. And then you had this. And yeah, and you could fit about like 6 people on each bench. The entire class would sit on this side of the classroom. And then there would be me. And no joke, that is how my classroom went. Apart from when we shared with biology, because then my friend would be sitting next to me, and my other friend. So then there would be 3 of us. Oh, and we'll add some more biologies. They some like scattered around. It looks more even when the biologies come in. But yeah, that was literally it. There would be me versus the entire class. But uni wasn't so bad. I had my friends. I had fandoms. All the fandoms. Sherlock, Harry Potter, all the different animes me and my friend talked about. All of the things. Then Undertale came in. And I got into the Undertale fandom. And then I left uni all bright and starry. I starry-eyed me. This like, oh, yes, was very very was happy starry-eyed. I don't know how to make this happy, but I was happy. And everyone had promised like you get good grades, and I got a 2-1, which is an upper first, no upper second, which is like one down from the highest mark you can get. So I had pretty good marks. And like we got told throughout the entirety of uni, people want you. They want you to have good marks. You're gonna get hired like instantaneously. So I had this real high, bright and shiny look that was gonna happen. And then when it didn't happen, and like the months drew on, and we got to October, and I finished in like July? No, June I finished. Yeah, I finished in June. June I finished. It got to October and I still wasn't getting hired for a job. So I started to look for any job. And then I got a job as a pizza person. And I delivered pizza. This is my car. That's a very big car I got there. But there's pizza box in the back. Usually they sit next to me, don't worry about it. Don't worry, I'm short too. Yeah, boy. So, yeah, I would drive around, delivering pizzas. Then I had a job as a GIS technician, which was looking at maps. And, like, this is a map, and that's a road. And there are some houses on the road. And there's telephone wires and internet cables everywhere. And I had to climb all them. So, like, only problem was, there was no work. Well, the work was there, obviously, but it was never actually given out to us until 5 minutes before we finished. You could sit around all day and like when 5 to 6 came on, because I finished at 6 o'clock. So when 5 to 6 came along, he would give us a work for the day and ask us to do it then and there. Which initially I was like, holy shit, I got work, yay, let's do it. And then eventually I was like, excuse me, I'm now doing overtime and not getting paid for it. What? Nope. Why can't you give me the work in the day? So then my job started bringing me back down into the depression that I was in before, which happened between finishing uni and getting a pizza job. I started to feel myself get back into depression, and I quit my job. And then I went to Australia. I didn't go to Sydney, but we'll go the icons thing. I can't remember what it's called, but it looks like this. But I actually went to Melbourne and saw Blue, and I saw Anya and JJ, and like was freaking awesome. This is Blue. Blue has this really awesome hat that I want. Thank you. It's good. But trust me, it's awesome hat. And then Anya is tall beam. Anya is so cool. And Anya has her hoodie. She has the green hoodie. Oh no. Oh. But in my time in Melbourne, when I met Anya and that, we didn't actually take a picture. I took a picture of Anya with my friends, which I also met Coffee, which is my best friend from uni, and one of her friends that she met in New Zealand. But yeah, I took pictures of Anya with those, and we didn't actually get a picture together, despite the fact that we said that we were going to. So yeah, we're both kind of sad at that. Correct. Irrelevant question, but I'm throwing you in his kid and thought, what would fresh Sashy be at and be to you in his door? He'd probably just like ignore it. He's not fussed, like either way, he doesn't care. So yeah, I went to Australia. That was amazing. And I now got another job. And my job currently is looking at Excel spreadsheets all day long. And this database system. But it's so cool! Like, I found where the nerds at, and all the nerds are congregated in my work. So, I absolutely love them, and I am so glad that I'm working there. And it's really funny, it's like the other day, they were praising me. Me and this other girl started at the same time. And they were praising us for how quick we were picking up everything. And then one of them was just like, oh, it's because you got an amazing teacher, because he's the one that taught us. And then then you had the manager just going, oh, it's because you got an amazing manager, like. And I'm just sitting there going, oh, it's because you're all amazing. Well, no, I didn't actually tell them that because I thought it just might sound weird. but they are. I absolutely love them. To bits. They're freaking awesome. That's my desk. I got a little footstool as well because I am a short person. And yeah, so there's that. But yeah, I love my work. I got a little note thing to write down notes. I've scribbled on most of mine. But yeah, that was really funny. But yeah, I absolutely love it, and I'm really happy now. And I got a graphics tablet. Woo! But did you fart? You only love me when you fart. No, no love for you. No. So yeah, I think that brings us pretty much up to date. I mean, if you want a more in depth, we've already talked for 2 hours. I've already talked for 2 hours. If you want more in depth about different stories or different parts of my life, then you can let me know. If you want me to do a draw my life Sashy style, and going to Sashy's backstory or any of the Sashy's backstories, then let me know and I can do that as well. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next live stream because I really need to eat food and I'm really, really hungry. So yeah, thanks for joining me and being here on this magical journey. Bye bye.